up, y'all? It's Styles High Power here to give you another installment of Simple Matter. Today we're going to talk about a muscle that I rarely, if ever, hear anybody talk about working. That's very essential, especially if you're an athlete. Hip flexors, okay? Your hip flexors are the muscles that are here. All right. Anytime you raise your leg up, raise your knee up, your hip flexors is doing the work. That's what's doing the work. So for an example, running, jumping, sprinting, any kind of sudden explosive movements, anything that have to do with you lifting your knee up, raising your knee up, you're gonna be working those hip flexors. And the quicker you can use those hip flexors, the quicker you can run, the quicker you can take the next step to run. When you jump, get low, pull those knees up to give you some extra momentum. That's gonna be all your hip flexors doing that work. All right. Even with movements like squats, for an example, the stronger your hip flexors are, the more stability and the stronger your hips are, you're able to keep the weight more stable when you do squats. Oh yeah, if you're a fighter, throwing kicks, throwing knees, you need strong, explosive hip flexors to do all those movements. And a lot of people don't work those hip flexors, so they're missing out on a lot of power and strength that would translate to many movements and lifts and whatever sport you play. It's going to give you a huge boost and benefit on your explosiveness. So I'm going to show you a couple movements for focusing on the explosiveness, fast twitch muscle fibers, and then the next set of movements and exercises I'm going to show you is going to be for strength. And make sure you know the difference between the two. If you're trying to build fast twitch muscle fibers, build the explosiveness and quickness, then you need to focus on using resistance bands, for an example. And if you want to build strength, stability, etc., then you want to, I say, use cables. Cables would be better than dumbbells and kettlebells. Use the ankle attachment, use the cables to build more so a focus on strength. Because for an example, you want to train how you're working out, or you want to train to simulate the movements you're going to be doing with whatever sport you play. So for an example, if you train the muscle slow, the muscle's going to be slow. If you train the muscle to be quick, it's going to be quick. Alright, so for explosiveness, I'm going to use this resistance band. You can attach it to something down here on the floor, anything will do, as long as it's low to the floor. And you're going to attach it to your ankle, and you're going to do resistance band knees. All you're doing is just quick knees. It's all about explosiveness. Alright, so make sure you go back, slow and controlled, and then power that knee up. Back down, slow and controlled, right back up. Alright, in a powerful, quick, explosive manner. Because you're mimicking the movements, once again, you're mimicking the movements that you're going to be actually doing, which is why you're doing this exercise, to get those benefits. Alright, the next exercise, same thing, you put a resistance band. Put a resistance band on something attached, low to the floor, put it around your waist. All right, now we're gonna do razor band sprints. You're gonna run in place, you're gonna run as fast as you can for 30 seconds, all right? And make sure you're explosive. Your main goal is to get those knees as high as possible. So raise those knees, so you can work those hip flexors to the full, to a full capacity. So you can get full contractions on those hip flexors, so get those knees high as possible. Don't be taking baby steps. All right, now for strength, we're gonna do the cables. All right, cable knees, all right? You put the cable, attach it to your ankle, walk away to the other side, hold on, put yourself at a 45-degree angle or so. So you just wanna do knees. All you're doing is raising your knee from point A to point B. Make sure you pull that knee as far as you can, as high as you can, to get a full contraction, all right? Keep a steady pace. You're gonna gotta be quick and be explosive. Leave that for the bands. We're focusing on strength right now with this. All right, make sure you keep your rep range high, at least 10, 15, preferably 20 reps. This exercise is not only good for hip flexors, it's also good for lower abs. And by the way, give you a quick tip. Anytime you hit your lower abs, what are you doing? You raising your knees up, or you raising your leg up, all right? So here or here, by default, you're working your hip flexors when you do your lower abs. But that don't mean to disregard the exercises that are specifically for your hip flexors, all right? So this is supine, laying on the floor, laying on your back. I learned this I got it from Frank Zane back in the day on YouTube. One of my favorite lower ab exercises. So lay on your back, put the cable attachments on both feet, hands under your hips so that you don't slide, and you're just gonna do knee tucks. Make sure to get those to work your abs with this exercise. Keep your shoulders off the ground, stay engaged. All right, and while you do that, just keep it steady. Fully extend your legs and pull your knee, bring your knees all the way back to your chest. As if you're trying to knee yourself in the face. It's gonna work your hip flexors and both your lower abs. All right, so make sure you try each and every one of these exercises, along with anything that has to do with building lower abs, leg raises, and knee raises. Resi bands for explosiveness, fast twitch muscle fibers in the hip flexors. Do weights, mainly cables, my preference, to focus on strength. Throw a little weight on there and keep your pace moderate. It's not all about trying to be explosive and throw it around. Check that out, man. Do that, try it out. And in a few weeks, couple months, watch the difference in your hip flexors. You're running, you're jumping, kicking, kneeing. If you're a fighter, man, shout out to you, by the way. All my MMA guys. But yeah, that's it, man. Hey, simple matter. Small things make a big difference. Check out the website, man. Got some new merch on there, by the way, man. Follow, subscribe, leave a comment, ask questions and requests. Whatever you want to see or hear about or learn about. Peace. Our power. Over up. Minister and Frank Spring.